Hello everyone, I hope you all are in good health. So students, in this video we are going to revise the chapter that is ecosystem. Before studying the chapter in detail, we must know some of the basic terms such as number 1, what is habitat? So what do I mean by habitat? It is the surrounding or place where an organism lives. So it is the place where an organism is living. That place or that surrounding is known as habitat. Now the next term is community. Several species of plants and animals living in the same habitat form a community. So let us say here is one habitat, right? This is a one habitat. Here are number of species of plants, right? Number of plants are there. Banana trees there, mango trees there, right? Guava trees there, and number of animals are there, such as deer is there, and then you may say foxes here, right? In a forest. So these are different species of animals as well as these are different species of plants, but they are living in a same habitat, that is in a forest. They are found in a same habitat, so they are forming one community. So what is community? It is several species of plants and animals living in the same habitat forms a community. Then the next term is ecology. The study of interaction of biotic and abiotic components of the habitat is known as ecology. So what do you mean by biotic components? Means the living components. Here it is written the biotic components. So what does biotic term means here? Means it is related with some living matter. And abiotic means non-living components of the habitat. And the interaction, how they are interacting, the living and the non-living matter with each other, their study is known as ecology. Then the term ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? It is a community of living organisms in a given area or in a habitat. So it is basically a community. In community we know number of different species of plants and different species of animals. They are living in the same habitat. They are interacting with each other and with their non-living environment. Non-living environments such as weather, sun, water, soil and atmosphere. So here we have studied two things. Number 1 is ecosystem. It is a community. Community of different species of plants or you may say animals, means living components. How they are interacting with the non-living components in that habitat. Now what are these non-living components such as weather, water? These are the non-living components in an environment. So it is known as ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms in a given area or in a habitat interacting with each other and with their non-living environment, that is weather, sun, water, soil, atmosphere. And it shows three fundamental features. What are the three fundamental features? It is very important. The three fundamental features of the ecosystem are that they are interdependence of biotic and abiotic components on each other. So how these biotic, the living matter, just as you may say the plants or the animals, they are dependent on the abiotic components such as soil, such as water. How they are interdependent on one another, right? It is one of the fundamental feature of ecosystem. Then another one is energy flow. It is also a feature of ecosystem. Then exchange of materials between biotic and abiotic components. You know that in the process of photosynthesis, the plants, they take up water from the soil. So there is exchange of materials between biotic and abiotic component. The plant is a biotic component and abiotic component is a water. So there is a exchange of materials. So these are the three fundamental features of an ecosystem. Then here it is written components of ecosystem. Two components are there, biotic and abiotic. So biotic, it is further divided into three types: producers, consumers and decomposers. We know, we have studied from the 5th class onward that what are producers? They are autotrophs, they are green plants that can prepare their own food through the process of photosynthesis. So these are known as producers. Then consumers. The consumers, these are the animals, right? Then decomposers. Decomposers are microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi which decompose the dead matter present in an environment, such as dead plant or dead animals. They decompose that matter. So they are known as decomposers. These are basically the microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi. Then these consumers, they are further divided into three types. Number one is herbivores, then carnivores, and then is omnivores. So what are herbivores? Herbivores, they are those animals which feed on plants. So they are known as herbivores. Carnivores are those animals which feed on herbivores or other animals. They are carnivores. Omnivores are those which feed both on plants as well as on animals. Then we have noticed here that herbivores, they are known as primary consumers, right? Then this carnivore is divided into two types: secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. So it is written, the secondary consumer is termed as primary carnivore and tertiary consumer is known as secondary carnivore. Now how it is? So let us assume one example here. This is a grass. It is eaten by deer. Then it is eaten by, you may say, lion. Right? So we will notice here that this deer, it is a primary consumer. This deer is a primary consumer. Then this lion, it is a secondary consumer, but it is a primary carnivore. Since lion is the carnivore, it feeds on other animal, but this deer, it feeds on green plants. So it is a herbivore, which is also known as primary consumer. Then lion is known as secondary consumer or primary carnivore. Then if lion, it is eaten by the another animal, you may say another animal such as eagle, right? When it is dead, then this eagle will become the tertiary consumer or secondary carnivore. Now let us see what are omnivores. Omnivores are those that eat plants as well as animals. So examples, you know very well, human beings, they eat plants as well as animals, hence they are named as omnivores. Then decomposers. Decomposers are those organisms that break down complex organic compounds from the dead remains of plants and animals into simple inorganic substances. As I have told you that decomposers are those which decompose something. So what type of material they are decomposing? They are decomposing means, what do you mean by decomposing? Means to break down something into simple nutrient or simple substance. That is known as decomposition process. So the organisms which do this decomposition process, that is which break down the complex organic compounds which is found in the dead bodies of plants and animals into simple substances, so that that simple substance must be used up by the plants. Those organisms are known as decomposers. Now here is transformers. These are special group of bacteria which disintegrate the simple organic substance into inorganic form that is suitable for reuse by producers. In the 7th class we have studied what is nitrogen fixing bacteria and those which fix the nitrogen. So this is a example of transformer. They were converting the ammonia into nitrate, then nitrate was further converted to nitrate, and that for nitrate was used up by the plants. So nitrogen fixing bacteria such as Nitrosomonas, Nitrobacter, these are transformers. These are special group of bacteria which disintegrate the simple organic strands into inorganic forms that are suitable for reuse by producers. So that was reused by plants. So what is food chain? Food chain means it is a feeding interaction between organisms of different populations in an ecosystem. So what does this mean? It means it is the relation of eating and being eaten between organisms of the ecosystem. So it results in unidirectional flow of energy. So this is a food chain. The relation of eating and being eaten is known as food chain. It is a feeding interaction between organisms of different populations in an ecosystem. Here you are observing there is a unidirectional flow of energy. The energy is transferred from one species to the another, then so on. So this is a food chain. Now let us see the types of food chain. There are 3 types of food chain. First one is forest food chain, then is aquatic food chain and grassland food chain. What do you mean by forest food chain? So as the term indicates here, forest food chain means this food chain which is found in forest. So let us assume here a example that there is a grass which is eaten up by deer, and this deer is again eaten up by a lion. So this is a forest food chain, means the population, the organisms in the forest food chain, they are found in the forest. This grass, deer and lion, they are found in forest. Then is aquatic food chain. Aquatic food chain means the food chain which is found in water. So let us see here, there is a aquatic plant, means those plants which are found in water, we call them as aquatic plants, which is eaten up by small fish, and this small fish is again eaten up by a large fish. So this is a food chain which is found in water, and that is known as aquatic food chain. Then is grassland food chain. Grassland food chain means the food chain which is found in grassland. So these are the 3 types of food chain. So let us again revise what is food chain. It is a feeding interaction between organisms of different populations in an ecosystem. So now here is one term which we will use. So trophic level. What is trophic level? Trophic level is the position that an organism occupies in a food chain. Now just see here, producers, they are always at the first trophic level. Since we know consumers, they depend on producers. So producers will always hold the first trophic level, means their position will always be the number 1. Then herbivores, they are at the second trophic level. Carnivores are at the third trophic level, and top carnivores will hold the position at 4th number. Then there is another term, food web. What do I mean by food web? It is a network of number of food chains. So that is known as food web. Any food chain cannot work in isolation. So the number of food chain, they always interact, and that forms a food web. Let us see here the plant. Here is a plant which is eaten up by a butterfly. This butterfly is again eaten up by a lizard, and this lizard is again eaten up by an eagle. So this is one food chain. Then here is second food chain. This is the plant. It is eaten up by rabbit. Rabbit is again eaten up by an eagle. Then there is another food chain, plant, which is eaten up by rat. Rat is eaten up by snake, and snake is eaten up by an eagle. Or you may say the fourth food chain. This is a plant. Plant is eaten up by a rat, and rat is again eaten up by an eagle. So let us see what here it is written, that each herbivore usually eats more than one type of producers, we know, and each carnivore preys upon more than one type of herbivore. So it is a eagle, right? It is a carnivore. It is feeding on number of types of herbivores, rabbit as well as on rat. So each carnivore preys means eats or feed upon more than one type of herbivore. So food chain is the network of several interconnected food chains. The various food chains in an ecosystem, they do not operate in isolation. One organism may obtain its food from different sources. So you may see here, the eagle is obtaining the food from different sources. It is obtaining the food either from rabbit, and it is obtaining the food from snake, or it is directly obtaining the food from rat. So each organism, they may obtain the food from different sources in a food web. So let us now study about ecological pyramid. What do you mean by ecological pyramid? Basically, it is a graphical representation of how many number of individuals are present in a food chain, or how much their biomass is there, or how much energy is accumulated at different trophic levels in a food chain. So on that basis, ecological pyramid, it is divided into three types: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. We have to study only about pyramid of number. So what do you mean by pyramid of number? Means it shows the number of individuals at each trophic level in a food chain of an ecosystem. Let us say this is trophic level 1, which is, we know, is occupied by this number 1 position is always occupied by producers. Then at second trophic level there will be primary consumers, means herbivores. Then at third trophic level there will be secondary consumers. Then at fourth, top tertiary consumers. So plants, they are forming a first trophic level. Plant is a producer. Rabbit is a herbivore if they are present at the second trophic level. Snake is a carnivore, or you may say it is a secondary consumer, and we know secondary consumers, they are also known as primary carnivores. Then is eagle. Eagle is holding a number that is fourth at trophic level. So eagle is at fourth trophic level, and it is a tertiary consumer, or you may say it is also known as secondary carnivore. Then the interdependence between organisms, how their organisms, they are interdependent and for what purpose. So let us see dependence of animals on plants. Why the animals, they depend on plants? To get the oxygen, to get food as well as shelter from plants. Now we will study dependence of plants on animals. We know the plants, they depend on animals for pollination. Pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grains. Then seed dispersal, to disperse the seed and to obtain the nutrients from the dead remains of animals. Now here is another important topic, that is interspecific interaction. Means this is an interaction between two different species. So interaction between the members of two different species is known as interspecific interaction. This is of two types, positive interaction and negative interaction. In positive interaction, in this type of interaction, one or both the members are benefited, but in negative interaction, only one of the two interacting member is benefited and the other one is harmed. And the positive interactions are of further number of types, such as symbiosis. What do you mean by symbiosis? Symbiosis is a positive interaction when both the members, they are benefited, both the interacting members are benefited, then we will use the term symbiosis. Commensalism means one is getting benefit, the other is neither getting benefit nor is harmed. So that positive interaction is known as commensalism. Then scavenging means the animals, they feed on the dead remains of other organism. Then negative interaction. In negative interaction, there are again number of terms we will observe here. Predation. Predation means one organism will kill the other organism to feed. Then is competition. Competition means both the organisms are harmed. Then parasitism. Parasitism means here one organism, it resides on or inside other organism. The one organism will reside on the surface as well as, or it may reside inside the body of the living organism, such as one species is getting benefited, that is parasite, and the other is harmed, that is host. So the species which will get benefit, that is a parasite, and the one which will be harmed, that we may call it as host. There are some terms: ectoparasite, endoparasite. Ectoparasite means when a parasite, it lives on the surface of the host, then we will term it as ectoparasite. And endoparasite means those parasites which live inside the body of the host, that is known as endoparasite. Ecto means on the surface, endo means inside. Now let us study about abiotic components of ecosystem. So abiotic components means non-living components which are present in an ecosystem. First one is inorganic substances. Inorganic substances may either be minerals or maybe gases. Then physical factors. Physical factors such as air, soil and water, they all constitute the physical factors of ecosystem. Then climatic factors means which are related to the climate, sunlight, temperature, pressure, humidity, wind, these all are the climatic factors. Edaphic factor means it is a term which is related with the soil. So soil, what type of soil is there, how is its texture, these all constitute the edaphic factors. So that's all for today. Take care.